Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ult In Ten, and today with me I have someone very well known now in the community for playing a really weird top lane. He plays Poppy top and it's Spamhappy. Why don't you go and introduce yourself and say hi?
Hey guys, I'm Spamhappy, aka Zekins. I've pretty much been playing LoL for like 1.5 years or so. Pretty much started in Dota, moved to Han, made like a pro team there, actually named Xfin, and then pretty much moved to LoL after like I don't know a year or so, half a year. So yep, back to you.
That was a quick intro. Okay, well, along the lines of that, let's go more in depth of that. What's your gaming history in general? Like, if you can go back as far as you can remember.
Gaming history. Actually just pretty much played random games. Played some StarCraft here and there, played some Diablo 2. Mostly just Blizzard games actually. And then I got into Dota and then pretty much just stuck with that for a really long time.
Oh,
And then,
sorry, continue. Go ahead. My
oh
bad.
yeah, and then after that, I just played that for like 2 or 3 years. And then heard about, Dota was kind of dying for a bit with me and my friends. And pretty much I moved on to Han, which was pretty cool. I mean, everyone was pretty friendly at the time. And then like open beta kind of ended and then the community like shrunk drastically. And then, continued playing that for a while. Had like my team. We did pretty well in some tournaments and stuff. And then I don't know, my computer couldn't really handle Han that well, so I basically just stopped and moved to LoL because most of my friends were playing that too.
Okay, and keep in mind, everyone, don't get your feather or your panties in a bunch. He does not play Han anymore. He plays League, so I don't want to see like 1,000 downvotes on this video just because. Oh my God, he plays Han.
Oh
Um,
God.
all right, well, okay, let's just start off with the obvious. What made you choose Poppy top? Like, what made you choose playing her so often as like your kind of your main character?
Why did I choose Poppy? I pretty much just chose Poppy because she was underrated, and I really enjoyed playing her the first few times I tried her. I always heard that my friends always like, oh, Poppy's really bad, you shouldn't play her, she's like the worst champion ever. I was like, no way. So I tried her a few times, and first few games didn't do so hot, but after a while, I really got her down, and it's always consistently did well. So I was like, I don't know what people are talking about. Like she does really well in top lane, like nothing can really push her out, and I just don't know what people are talking about. So I always wanted to try. Yeah.
And this is kind of like a personal thing here. Is how many room pages and master pages do you, or not master pages necessarily, but how many room pages do you actually have for her to play her top? Because I'm assuming since you mostly just play Poppy, that you have however many room pages just for a different like lane opponent.
So I actually just started out with 2 pages and never really went past that. I started out with one using just armor and attack damage, but then I figured, I might run into some AP champions. So I went with some MR, some armor, health regen, and some attack damage. And then I made another one after a while, but I never used it yet. It was basically for versus Olaf. Basically, I'm running gold for 10, everything, and just staying alive in the lane. Freaking Olaf.
Try not to die.
Yep, pretty much.
All right. Well, what about in this game? We're playing against Vladimir. What runes specifically are you using for this?
So in this game, I'm pretty much using 13 MR, 13 armor, health regen quints, and 8.5 AD. Because AD is really helpful for lasting at the tower. The MR and armor are really nice against Vlad because he does both magic damage and AD as harass. And the health regen just keeps me in lane. Like, he basically cannot push me out unless I let him hit me a lot.
Yeah, especially mixed in with Poppy's passive, it's kind of impossible for any AP to really take you out of lane.
Yeah, pretty much.
And can you talk about your skill order actually? I noticed you're taking 2 points of Paragon. Mostly Poppy's obviously max devastating blow, but I'm assuming you're doing that specifically for like the resistances in lane.
I actually don't max Paragon first. I only get 2 points in it just for lasting at the tower because having that extra AD is really helpful, and the extra armor like stops creeps from doing more damage to me, stops Vlad auto attacks from doing more damage to me, and the move speed is always nice because if a ganker comes, I just run, and if I need to chase down Vlad, I run. So yeah, it works out pretty well. Like I will actually max Q after this, but having 2 points early on is really nice for Paragon.
Yeah, speaking of movement speed, you actually see that you're running Ghost in this game. And I believe I heard you say once that as Poppy, you don't really need Flash once you hit 6 because you can just put your ulti on one of them and just walk away.
Yeah. So I actually prefer Ghost over Flash because even if someone else has Flash, you will be able to chase them down. Especially with W and Ghost on, they cannot run from you. It's basically impossible. So I just run them down, especially once I have my Trinity, follow them, hit them, slow them, and there's not much they can do.
Okay, so I have a community question I actually want to talk about, and it actually refers to how hard it is to actually lane with Poppy. And its question is, how do you deal with her mana problems early game?
Okay, so yeah, I've actually heard a lot of people say that she has a ton of mana issues. She runs out pretty quickly, honestly. But once you have your Philosopher's Stone, it's really not that big of an issue. As long as you're not trying to last hit too much with your Q and your E, you should have enough to actually push your opponent out of lane a little bit, or at least keep them pretty low with harass. Or alternatively, you can just set your tower, use your skills to farm, and then just back off whenever necessary.
And I've actually had experience playing with a Poppy like in top lane. I was like loving going up in ELO, and it seems like she needed to be babysat a lot at top lane. How do you feel with that? Like, do you typically need a jungler to kind of protect you, or do you think you're like confident enough that you can stay alive? I mean, you won't get a kill maybe, but you'll at least be able to farm.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely confident enough that I can just stay alive farm. But having a jungler is always nice because I usually let my opponents push to my tower, which means that it's pretty easy for my jungler to gank. Plus, if I sit at my tower and just farm, it's like they can't really harass me that easily because if they try harassing me, my tower hit them back, and that gives me some opportunities to harass them back.
Right, right. That's definitely true. And I kind of want to switch gears a little bit. Actually, no, it stays on the same lines. Is what's your goals early game as Poppy? Like in the laning phase, what do you try to accomplish?
So against most matchups, like in this one in particular against Vlad, I basically just want to farm. As long as I keep up with him in CS, I know I'll be able to take him late game because Poppy does extremely well against like most champions one-on-one, especially with her ult on. And Vlad is no exception. Once you have your Trinity Force, you can basically run over him, destroy him.
Yeah, we'll see that definitely a little later in the replay. I don't want to ruin it for anyone. So preferably, who is the easiest lane opponent for you, and who's the hardest at top? And keeping in mind that generally play top, so not like Fiddlesticks top kind of thing.
Oh yeah. So the easiest one is probably Gangplank. Like I probably run into the most of them too. So I had a lot of practice against them. I realized if you have a ton of armor, he does no damage to you. You start at level 1, you have like 63, like 93 armor or something like that. He's basically shooting you with his Q for maybe like 30, 40. It's basically nothing. Like the hardest one would probably be Olaf. His true damage just wrecks me. I have no idea what to do against him. Basically, it's just set your tower and pray he doesn't kill you.
I've heard that's generally a good strat.
Yup.
And in terms of, I guess, junglers, you say you don't really need, junglers to babysit you, but I guess the kind of way to ask is, typically what jungler do you like having, and like what kind of general team composition works best for Poppy?
As a jungler, I really prefer to have an Alistar. He can basically push someone next to a wall for me to stun, and it's really nice to have that. So he comes to gank, he is pulverized, he pushes someone next to a wall. I immediately stun them after, and there's nothing they can do. They're stunned for like probably 6 seconds or so, and they're basically dead at that point.
Yeah, very
Um,
true.
yeah. So for team comps, I really like having a mid that can give me really good ganks at level 6. So that way I hit level 6, I have my ultimate, I can tower dive my opponent, and my mid just comes up and kills them. Like they have no chance of escaping. Something like TF, something like Ari, any of those are really strong.
All right, and what actually ELO is this from, by the way, if you remember, like what kind of ELO range is this game from, particularly?
This game in particular, I think this was I think I was like 2180 or something. So 2100s, high 2100s.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
definitely not something to laugh at. That is really that's actually well, that's higher than me, so I can't really say anything about that. And in general, how do you like to deal like I guess with your opponent? As we see here, you kind of hit him into a wall. Well, if you want to comment on this part real quick, and then
Okay,
we'll go
yeah.
back in.
So in this part, I stunned Vlad into a wall, and then Olaf actually comes in because I know Olaf is coming, so I actually go aggressive on Vlad, and this allows me to pick up a kill on him. I realized that Olaf is like dropping pretty low. I didn't know that he had heal at this point, and then I looked at my tab menu. I was like, oh, he has heal. He's just trying to bait. And then so we actually go for the kill on Malphite, which causes him to flash. We actually tried to get the kill, but we got creep blocked, which was really sad on our part. But we did pick up the kill on Vlad, which is really good.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I want to talk about was that how do you typically go to harass someone if you are trying to be aggressive? Do you just try to slam into them, hit a Q, maybe not attack and back out real quick, or?
The thing is, most people don't expect me to play aggressively after playing so passively throughout the entire laning phase. So once I go aggressive, they kind of know something is up. But in that case, I basically walked in a fashion that forced me or forced Lad to basically let me stun him into a wall. And he basically, yeah, he just got hit into a wall, and there wasn't anything to do after that. He tried running, he tried pooling, but we still had enough damage because I had my ultimate. I just ran to the tower, let Olaf finish him off.
Okay, and I think I was watching a stream when this happened, like, because there are a couple bugs, I think, or I believe with Poppy, where you can stun someone into themselves, like Gragas, if he ease away, you can actually, if you charge him then, he gets stunned by himself or something?
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate on that?
There are a few situations where it happens. It's nothing really concrete. Like I know a few situations where it might happen. Like if you have a Poppy charge another Poppy, and then the second Poppy charges the first one will get stunned every single time. Also, if you're walking toward a creep line and you charge toward the creep line, you charge like the first minion that's coming, you will stun it. And everything else, it's pretty iffy. Like it's usually when someone's trying to like turn towards you or trying to like run towards you that it happens, but it's very rare and you can't really count on it honestly.
So now
Okay.
we're back actually in kind of mid game here, and we're kind of joining a fight kind of late here, but no real action is happening too bad here. You just kind of pushed Ariana lane, and I want to ask one more question referring to laning phase is actually what do you think about Poppy bottom with an aggressive support and putting your AD at top?
I honestly think that having Poppy Bomb isn't a bad choice, but I feel like her potential is kind of wasted because she does pretty well against most ADs, like bruisers especially top. But she can do pretty well with any sort of sustained support, like Soraka, Alistair, any of those can let her farm extremely well and still set her up for kills once in a while.
What about AP Poppy? Because you're playing AD Poppy this game. Do you ever play AP Poppy at all, or do you kind of like not really enjoy it?
I think AP Poppy is really fun. The thing is, I feel that AP Poppy doesn't have enough potential in team fights. She'll kill one person maybe, and then she's done. The build I go is more of a hybrid build, which lets me basically kill more than one person. I can take out my main target and still go after other people without dying.
Right, yeah, that's actually we actually see here in a little bit, and just some just funny stuff you do. You end up like killing one person, running away, but still fighting at the same time, which is really funny. And I was just talking to you over this little break between the clips that you actually have participated in Go for Elo before, and you did not play Poppy in every game. So here's another question: is what other champions interest you besides Poppy?
So basically, I'm on a team right now, and I play mostly supports. Like I play Blitz, I play Janna, Tarek, Sona, Alistair, Soraka. I actually play some like random supports such as like LeBlanc, Ashe. Those are really fun to try out. But I pretty much just main support. I really like playing AP Janna. She's a ton of fun, and I feel like she's probably one of the strongest solos mids right now.
AP Jana, really? I mean, oh, I
Nope.
know about that, but it's just weird to hear that, from going top lane all the time with Poppy that you actually like playing support.
Like support is just a ton of fun. I played it back when I played Dota, back when I played Han. Just pretty much main support like throughout my gaming career.
Interesting. And to completely switch gears now, it's to talk about, mid to late game or actually kind of pretty much in mid game where you guys are starting to roam around. And generally, what's your kind of goals at this point of the game?
So during mid game, I try to continue farming as much as I can, but I also join team fights whenever possible because I know I have enough damage to pick up kills. Like once I have my Sheena and my Phage, I'm pretty much into mid game. I have enough damage to kill someone, and I can slow them still, and I can help my team as much as possible because I can ult someone and basically push them into wherever, and there's not much they can do.
Yeah, to see here, you actually ended up wall banging Boy Boy here, and you, I believe, do pick up the kill on him, and he gets kind of angry, and then you just kind of run away. And yeah, I don't know, it's just really funny seeing a Poppy in a team fight because when you put your ulti up on someone, they kind of just run away with their heads cut off, like, oh, what do I do? What do I do?
Yeah, like a lot of people don't know what to do once I ult them, so they just run from me, and that's sometimes a good idea. Sometimes they can actually fight, stand and fight, but I usually can kill them. So yeah.
Well, typically, what's a good CS number for Poppy around 20 minutes? You see you sitting at actually about 129 to Vladimir's 160. And I mean, obviously, you're not going to be able to completely keep up with the other person on top lane, but what's generally a good number for you?
I actually don't consider any sort of CS number particularly good. I usually go for a tranny by 20 minutes. If I'm going for Merc Treads, maybe like by 21, 22 is a really good amount of time to have your tranny at. If I'm going Ninja Tabby, probably 20, 21. So it depends. If I can get kills, I go for kills. If I get CS, then CS is fine. But that's pretty much the time frame I want.
And um, well, okay, so talking about team fights a little bit, since you're saying that AP Poppy is all about just bursting someone down. Typically, what do you try to do in team fights? Like for instance, in this team composition, do you strictly put your ulti on the person you're trying to kill, like Ari or Ezreal, or do you actually try to like switch up, put on someone that really can't slow you down or interrupt you?
In this game, I actually decided to go for Vlad almost every single fight, just because I don't want his ult on my team. I can push him out, I can do a ton of damage to him, I can easily kill him. Like right here, I pretty much just one man, dive in, kill him, and he has no chance to react.
Poor Vladimir. I'm just upset. So I want to go to another community question here, and it actually relates to how Poppy is competitively. And I mean, I guess I just kind of gave the question away. Was how do you see Poppy in competitive play? Do you think she's actually like a viable pick?
I honestly think that Poppy is very viable competitively. I've actually played her in a bit few Go for Lols, which worked out pretty well for our team. But the thing is, she works better as a counter pick rather than a like first pick top. So you basically want to pick her against maybe Gangplank, against Riven, something like that. Like against those champions, she does very well.
But not an Olaf. Bad.
No,
For all those Poppies out there trying to play and learn, do not go against an Olaf. You will get destroyed.
it's impossible. Don't know what to do. Really sad.
What about range character? Like, what about range people? What about like Teemo?
Teemo's pretty bad actually, just because of his blind. But his tiny dots actually make it more difficult for him to harass, because every time he runs into your tower's gonna hit him back. So he's not as bad as people say. He's pretty bad though. I would not want to fight against one.
Okay, and so since you do play other people top, actually let's go to this question first because this will set it up. It's how many times have you dodged because someone banned or picked Poppy?
Oh man. At first, I probably only dodged like 3 times or so, like going up to 2K. But after I hit 2100s or so, I probably dodged like another 8 or 9 times. So lost like 100 something yellow. I mean, I'm not too worried about it because I usually get it back, but it's still, kind of annoying that people ban Poppy and then have to go switch accounts and everything.
So you actually do not play unless it's Poppy or
Yes,
Spamhappy.
I do not play unless it's Poppy.
So if I ever so you guys hear that out there, if you are ever queued against Spamhappy, you can stream snipe him, ban
Oh my
Poppy.
gosh. Please no. I'll be so sad.
All right, so on your other account, what role do you play top still on that account at all, or do you typically support with it?
I pretty much play everything, but I focus on support. I do play a few tops. I play Nasus. I'm not that good at them, honestly. Play some Kennen, but it's pretty much just support and Poppy.
And this is another question: how many Poppy skins do you own? I'm curious.
On Spamhappy, I own all 3 that are available. I can't get the other ones. Yeah, I'm really sad about that. Actually, you should go email Riot and see if I can get it.
That's like the creepiest skin ever for me. Is her lollipop?
It really is. It really is.
It looks like she's like a young girl that you're going to molest, but she's gonna molest you back.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like you can't molest her; she'll molest you, kind of thing.
Like I saw the art for it, I was like, oh my god, this is pretty creepy.
All right. Well, what tips in general though can you give for top lane, like positioning wise, maybe warding, maybe timings and stuff like that?
In top lane, basically, you always want the lane to either be pushed to their tower so they can't last hit, but you have to have a ward out for that. If you don't, then you always want the creeps to be pushed toward your tower. Also, if you're on blue side, you can actually throw a ward over the wall next to your tower into the bush. You actually don't have to stand next to the bush to throw it in, which is kind of surprising for a lot of people. They don't realize you can throw a ward that far. And also, taking control of the bushes is very important, especially if you're ranged. If you're something like Kennen, you can run to the bush, hide for a bit, run out, hit them, and run back into the bush before they can attack you back, which is very powerful.
And we're seeing here that you're actually diving this Vladimir. You get him to pop his pool, and of course you're not taking any damage from the tower, and you get the really nice ignite onto him. But yeah, just like you're saying, you kind of want to focus him down, and you're able to do that even when he's at his own tower. And you were actually under leveled. He was 16, you were 15, but you did have that Negatron cloak.
Yep, pretty much. I knew I had enough damage to kill him before he could kill me, and I knew with my ult on, he couldn't his tower wouldn't be helping him. So since I have my Trinity and he doesn't really have that much MR, he bought his Negatron after he died, I think. So he actually just melted pretty much. There's nothing he could do. Actually, the Sirocco at the end did not actually save me because I was gonna live anyway. So I mean, it was nice that she thought of me, but I think she was actually trying to save someone else.
And how was I? What was I just gonna say? I was going to say, oh yeah. So Poppy, when you play her, do you typically have to like lead your team in terms of like playing to her strengths? For instance, you guys had Baron there, but you guys weren't being really super aggressive. You were kind of just taking Baron and playing it back, farming still. Like, do you kind of have to lead your team in a sense to actually be useful in a fight, or is it just generally you can understand people can understand how to play or how to play with a Poppy?
When I played at lower ELO, it was pretty much an issue that people wouldn't really know what to do when I was around. So I would usually have to, tell them, I'm gonna go dive. I'm gonna use my ultimate on someone. I'm gonna run in, and you're not gonna take damage from the tower because I'll be tanking it, and you won't. I won't take any damage either, and we just go kill whoever we want to kill. At the ELO I'm at currently, I really haven't had that many issues with people not knowing how to play with me. I played with most of them often enough that they pretty much figured out how I play and seem to be working out pretty well. So, yep.
Okay, and actually, I believe we are going to see a fight here, if I remember correctly. If you kind of want to just commentate on what's happening.
All right, so here Anivia actually lands her a wall behind Ari, and I just slam her into a wall. Unfortunately, I don't have enough damage to kill her, but I actually decided to ult Ezreal here. I wasn't actually going to plan on chasing him, so I just went toward the other side. This means I'm taking no damage from anything over here, and I can just easily chase down everyone because I have a slow. I have my build I actually used it on Malphite, I believe, and then unfortunately Janna ults us away. But since she's moving toward a wall, I just stun her into it and easily kill her. And then Anivia lands a perfect wall, and we just kill off Vlad. So it's basically 2 for nothing, and that's really good for us, especially since we're actually going to go deny their blue now, which will put Ari even farther behind.
Yeah, 2 for 0, you got their blue and you got dragon. And for people not noticing that, actually Scar is in this game as Anivia. For people who were interested in who that Anivia was, but that is his Smurf. Okay, so let's get a team fight here, and I want you to comment on this, and I'll go right back to the interview.
All right, so right now we're just clearing out this ward. Not much is happening, but right now Ari actually does let her taunt on me. I do QS's off, I ult her, and she runs away from me because I do a ton of damage to her. I push out Ezreal, he fails to flash over the wall because I pushed him so far from it. And right now, our team's cleaning up. I'm taking a lot of damage from Ezreal, but my team's doing a really good job killing everyone else. So we're pretty much just picking people off left and right. And right now it's just Ezreal left. And, well, and Janna. Oh, there goes Janna. And Ezreal is the only one left now. And I can't really chase him down. He has red buff. He has Mystic Shot. Yeah, I just get slowed right there. And I'm like, okay, I can't chase this down. He might actually kill me if I do.
Yeah, one thing I want to put out in a team fight is that because you're able to dive in, with your ulti against Ari and Ezreal, they're trying to like focus you down / run away, and because of that, Corki's just free to just attack whoever he wants. Like Malphite will get overextended because of that. Vladimir's kind of in limbo since he is kind of tanky, but it kind of allows Corki to just go to town on whoever he wants, and he doesn't have to really worry about being focused down by the enemy team's carries.
Oh yeah, definitely. So basically, what happened was I ulted in. I used my I QSS the taunt after everyone threw everything at me, and then I ulted Ari. That way, I soaked up all their CC, soaked up all their damage, and that left my team completely free to kill everyone else. So that was really nice.
Yeah, and can you actually talk about any tips or tricks that you use on on Poppy, that like people really don't know about, or that give you Squeak kind of an advantage?
Oh yeah, definitely. So one of the tricks I like to use is basically charging minions in the lane. So if someone's standing pretty far back, you can't really hit them because they're out of your range. You just charge a minion like a straight line, just a straight shot toward them, and you might actually, be able to drop a lot of harass on them doing that. Another trick you can do is basically, if someone's running to a bush and you have a ward on you, just throw the ward into the bush and charge them into the wall. Most people do not really expect that, so that's pretty effective. And one of my favorite tricks is throwing wards onto jungle camps. So basically what happens is you drop a ward onto like mini golems and you just jump over that wall. It's basically like a free flash. It's really nice. And one of my favorite, another trick I like to use is, press blue pill. Like just press B, people try going for you, and then, you jump on them. It's pretty fun.
That's kind of mean.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
Just coming at you just to kill him.
Yep.
And
works every time.
And to everyone watching this, okay, so we've had a lot of problems with this interview. So the first time we actually recorded this, I forgot to record the last like 10 minutes of it. And then when we went back today, which was like 2 days later, and went to record it, we ended up having to do something similar again. So hopefully we don't talk about anything that we talked about before in the interview. I apologize if we do. And back, I guess, to what we were talking about, sorry, is that you actually have a stream, and that's how you kind of become really known lately, and you actually can get a lot of attention towards it if you want to talk about it really quick.
Oh yeah, definitely. I actually think there's a team fight about to break out, so I'll probably talk about that after the team fight.
Okay, as we slowly watch Poppy.
Yeah.
Poppy,
slowly
sitting in the
watch
bush here
Poppy.
at Blue Buff, is going to be waiting for her moment to shine as the enemy team is sitting at their tower. And we will see what happens here slowly. Let's
Watch as this Poppy stalks their prey.
Alright, if you want to talk about what happens, that's good right here.
Alright, so basically, you might notice that when I go on Vlad, he's actually already pretty low. So I pretty much just pick him off before he can do anything. And this also means that the enemy team tries to throw a lot of spells on me, while my team just, picks off their tower and goes in on them. So taking out Vlad before he drops his ult was actually really important because he was actually a pretty heavy source of damage on their team. And now it's pretty much a 5-on-3. So we have a huge advantage. We can easily take down their tower and inhib. And we're pretty much just picking people off. Well, Corki does get caught. That's unfortunate. But yeah, we pretty much get a free inhib out of this. They can't really stop us right here. And we'll probably just back off after.
Yeah, what's really nice is that you can stay with just Poppy. Since you have your ultimate, you negate everyone except one person. Obviously, one person won't be able to kill you in the amount of time it takes for you to kill someone else on their team. And so you just swung around from behind, took out Vladimir while your team just kind of pushed up from the front, and they couldn't really, do anything. They couldn't really handle you at the end right there.
Yep, the pincer movement is really powerful.
Now I'm hungry because I'm thinking of sandwiches.
Tasty.
Okay, so we're talking about your stream. Can you discuss and tell us and enlighten us about it?
Okay, so yeah, I started streaming probably like a month ago or so. And, usually had like 50 something viewers. It's pretty cool. And one day, I logged on, started playing, and so they had like 1,000 something. I was like, wow, what happened? So apparently Dyrus and Scar are both talking about me and just pretty much sent everyone my way. And that was really cool of them. And pretty much what I do on stream is I try to commentate what I'm doing, try, being friendly, interacting with the fans. It's pretty cool. Like, I keep my IRC chat open and try answering every single question that comes my way.
And speaking of that, you also do something with YouTube involving your stream, correct?
Oh yeah, so basically with YouTube, I just cast my replays and explain step by step how each matchup works. Like, I probably have let's think, 15 or so champion matchups against Poppy right now. I will probably start working on some other champions eventually, but for now it's just a lot of Poppy videos.
Okay, yeah, and there will be a link in the video, or at least in the info section of that if you want to check that out. And I kind of want to talk to you about what's your 6-item build for Poppy, or at least in this game, because we see you just picked up Shurelya, so no one can really escape you with your Paragon and your Shurelya's, not to mention your Trinity Force speed and also your Hextech, so...
Oh yeah, so basically this game, I realized that Ezreal's getting really strong. I just want to have the Warden's Mail, which will turn to Randuin's eventually, just to slow him down. So if he attacks me, he might get slowed, and that'll be really useful, because if he's attacking slower, that's spare for my team in general. I really like having Trinity and Gunblade. Trinity's just for a ton of damage. Gunblade is also a ton of damage, plus the guaranteed slow proc is really nice to get close enough to someone to start my Trinity slows. And having QSS is really good just for RE time, just for slows in general. Like, they have, Janna Malphite? And it also removes Vladimir's ultimate. Very nice. And let's see, yeah, pretty much that. Like, Shurelya's is just always nice to have. The movement speed with Ghost and Paragon is just ridiculous. Yeah, right here I'm just suiciding. I'm silly.
Well, we said that Vladimir just really didn't want any of that. He popped his Zonias right when he ulted him and then pulled right after. And have you actually experimented at all with any other items? Like, for instance, like Infinity's Edge, Phantom Dancer, Bloodthirster, or anything?
Oh yeah, definitely. One of my favorite builds is actually going Trinity, Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, Cloak and Dagger, any sort of boots, and probably QSS. If you have that, you basically have 100% crit with the green pot, and you're pretty much just shredding everyone. It's really powerful, and I don't think people really expect it. The only problem is it's a bit harder to build up than the build I'm currently using.
Yeah, not to mention it's a lot of money too. Like Trinity Force that's like 8k gold right there.
Yep.
And,
plus,
oh, sorry.
Yeah. Nah, plus I usually like having Gunblade on top of that, so, just doesn't really happen that often.
Scumbag Scar right there is how to pick up that Ahri.
I know, right?
And you were talking about earlier how you actually play support mostly for your team. How do you feel like, knowing multiple roles actually makes you like a player in general? Like, do you think it improves yourself by learning many things, many positions, and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. So knowing multiple roles is actually extremely useful. You know what every other role can do, like what like they can fulfill. And plus, since I played support a lot, I really focused on positioning, map awareness, and just overall game sense. So I pretty much drew that into playing Poppy. So especially since Poppy is so positioning based, she needs to land her E, she needs to land her stuns, she needs to know when she can go in, she needs to know how much damage she can do. It's just very important to know like multiple roles. Like I know when I can kill an AD carry and when the AD carry is just way too strong for me. It's pretty important, I think.
All right, well, we're near the end of the show here. I want to give you a chance to, give any shout outs to anyone or talk about like anything in particular you have coming up.
All right, so shout outs. Shout out to Dyrus and Skara just because they're awesome. I really like watching their streams. Plus, they they name dropped me a few dozen times, which is really cool. And always love my fans, like all my viewers. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you guys watching me. And thanks to TSM for featuring me on their site. That was really cool. Thanks to Riot for making an awesome game, and thanks to but ILY just for doing this interview. He's awesome.
Aww. Aww.
Aw.
All right. Well, if there is nothing else you'd like to say, I believe that is the end of another episode of Ult In Ten. And is there sure nothing last minute? Because I know you've had time to think, like 3 days, considering we had an issue.
I don't know. Can't really think of anything right now.
Okay. Well, make sure to check out his stream and see some awesome Poppy action, as well as check out his YouTube if you're interested in, trying to learn how to play Poppy. And I believe you did mention that you will be doing little, small little guides on other champions as well, like how to do lane matchups. So definitely check that out. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Upset. And oh wow, sorry, look up there. Typically, actually, I don't even know what I'm gonna say here. Crap, I need to edit that part out.
It's okay.
Crap, I need to go back. I kind of just had a brain fart.
Play.
All right, so now we're back. Ah, fuck me.